Tell
Right.
me. Yeah, it's red. Yay, we're
Perfect.
recording. Yay. Yay. Whoever coughed. Yay. Anyway, moving on. Um, welcome to the review portion of the last map we did, which was Plants vs. Zombies. Yes, that's right. We played a game within a game. Again.
Kind of.
Gameception.
Sort of.
It's kind of more pseudo this time.
Yeah, it happened. And 4 tanks at the end. And I was the only one to survive because I got lucky.
You survived because you ran like a coward.
I had to. 4 fucking tanks with only I only had a AK-47, which had only ammo in it, and I had nothing else. I said, I have an adrenaline. Safe house this way. Bye. I want to get it over with. Let's go. Anyway, let's get to the review, shall we? 5 stars max, 1 star minimum, since it was Kyo's pick this time, because he's the one that found it, and he found it earlier today. How was the number affected? What'd you think?
Well, it wasn't actually that bad. Coleman didn't say it wasn't too overwhelming. Especially since you kind of just hid behind your machine guns, the heavy guns, the entire time.
And grenade launchers.
Yeah,
Can't forget about that.
It was fine. So yes, full stall.
All right, Dread.
I thought it was okay.
So full.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it as a full star as well because, well, it was like a normal map. We were playing normal difficulty. It was fun, except for that last bit where we had 8 fucking tanks. But yeah, it was 4 at the very end of it. But we had dealt with 4 others. So yeah, it wasn't too overwhelming until that little bit at the end. But then I ran away like a bitch and had no choice. We had to save it. Anyway. Moving on, number 2, length of campaign. Kyo, what'd you think?
Well, considering that it's not really supposed to be a campaign, is it? It's kind of just. Hey,
it's more of a survival.
Well, no. Survive, you don't.
You don't end a survival, but it's more on the lines of a survival.
It's more like a survival, but it is more of a campaign than a survival, I'd say, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange mixture of the two.
Well, Plants vs. Zombies, the game, was really a tower defense anyway, but this kind of felt the same way, except that there was a safe room in it.
Considering what it is, I guess, give it a full stall, actually.
Alright, Dread? Dread, wake up.
My head still hurts.
Well, you pounded your head in the ground because of a joke. Okay, that's your own stupid fault. Now, number 2, length. Yeah.
It felt short, but I wasn't really expecting it to be long, so I'll give it a full star.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a full 2. Even though, yeah, it was a short map, it was 1 part. At max, it should only be 15 minutes. And if we didn't goof off, it would have been 15 minutes. We goofed off for first 15 minutes, pretty much. We died, we had to restart twice, that adds time to it, and we played about 35 minutes of the map. Really, it should have been done 15, 20 minutes tops, and it stayed within that. So, it's a full star for what it has. If it was a 5-part map and it took us 15 minutes, then that's incredibly short. That'd be shocking. That's like going through 4 safe room doors and like back to back to back to back and only recording the stats. Anyway, moving on to number 3, difficulty fitting. Kyo, what'd you think?
Actually, all those tanks.
Yes.
It's too many tanks for what you give it, really.
Yeah, but was it too difficult for you? Did it stay within normal difficulty?
I'll give it half a star. Because everything except for the tanks stayed, I think, within normal.
Okay.
But the tanks were a bit. That's closer to hold or realist and type extreme settings there.
Yeah. So, half star from you. Dread. What about you?
I give the full star.
Any reason why?
No, the tanks aren't that bad. It was sort of designed so that the tanks could get caught up on a spot that if you use grenade launchers, you can kill them fast, and at the end all you have to do is just outrun them and just make sure you have enough HP to at least take a hit.
True. I agree with that. Alright. I'm going to give it 0. This is not because of the tanks. I think it's more or less there was not enough health items. I mean, yeah, there was adrenalines. We found an area where there was like 7 fucking adrenalines in a toilet, but that was it. There wasn't really enough med packs. Like, I understand it's not supposed to be a big one, but we had to search for a shit before we even started. And
well, one of the times we started, we had a few more health pots than we actually needed,
Yeah.
but they were ways away, though.
yeah, and in the next one we didn't have hardly any. So
But we did
it's
have a defib.
yeah, and it was stuff like that. It was the health was all over the place, so it didn't feel balanced. The weapons, there wasn't much variety. I mean, the last part we did, basically the last time we went through the entire map, we just had grenade launchers. There was 3 of them. Like, we needed 3 of them. One of them would have been just enough. We didn't need 3. And it didn't give us a whole lot of variety of any of the other weapons. Like, we found 1 shotgun, and the entire time we played that, we found more sniper rifles than anything. We found AKs after we started the event, and there really wasn't much for melees either. It was just kind of all over the place with the weapons. As far as common goes, common was fine, specials were fine, tanks a little bit much, especially at the end. So I'm giving it 0 because it stayed within normal difficulty in terms of the zombies, but it didn't stay within normal difficulty in terms of the items and weapons that were around. And to add the difficulty more, once we started the event, we couldn't escape. So if there was any health items outside of where we had to start the event, we were screwed. So, yeah, that's a big problem. You might want to fix that part. I can understand what you're trying to do, but still, it's kind of a fucked up deal when you put the health outside of it. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a 0. It could use a little bit more work. I understand this is a completed map, so it won't, but it could. It could use the work on that. Moving on to number 4, design. It stays with theme. I know we all can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they put custom fucking design in that to where you've seen Plants vs. Zombies pictures on it, like the main protagonist with the pot on his head. You see some of the designs of art from the game. You even see the freaking plants. So, yeah, it stays within the theme. And finally, recommendations. Would everyone recommend it? We don't know. Keo, what about you?
Recommend. Let me think. It's such a short map, I actually have to take time to think about it. You think it?
It's one of those tough ones.
'Cause it was. I would recommend it simply to try it. Yeah, actually. Though I don't think it's not one of those ones you play more than a couple times before you get bored of it. Though.
Yeah, I understand that. So,
I guess half a star of you only gonna play it a few times.
yeah. It's fun for novelty, I can see. Okay, Dread, would you recommend it?
I guess I would recommend it. If you've played Plants vs. Zombies, if you like the game, then you'll probably like it just because of all the little hints and that the
Cameos, Easter eggs, stuff like that, yeah.
Because the guy even for that ending or whatever it was, because it didn't do anything when it just showed the logo, he actually put it in so it would show the
Plants.
It would play the Plants vs. Zombies song thing that's in the trailers and at the end of the game.
Yeah, and that goes along with theme as well, but yeah, I can understand why you put a recommendation. I'm gonna give it a half. Like Keo said, it's one of those maps where I don't want to give it a full star for recommendation because it's only gonna be played maybe twice, maybe 3 times. It's a novelty map. It's a lot like Zombies of the Caribbean. It's one of those things where it's kind of enjoyable to play just because it's there. But it's not one of those ones where you constantly want to play it again and again and again. It really goes to the people who do like PopCap games because they're the ones that made Plants vs Zombies, if I remember correctly.
All those other
Well, they made a lot of good ones.
casual games.
Well, Pago's probably their best, but they Plants vs Zombies. You have to be a fan of it. Most people on Steam have this game already because, well, they have it always on sale practically, and it's really cheap on sale too. But it's one of those games where it could work. But this one, I wish it was like spread out longer than what it was. That's the problem with why I can't give it a full. Because pretty much we're only doing the daytime stage. It never really went to night. It never gave us any more plans. You just seen those 3 there, and that's it. And those things did kill the zombies, so they stayed within that. But it's still not enough to me to give it that full. So as I tally up the votes, Keo gave it 4 out of 5. Dread gave it the full treatment of 5, and I gave it 3.5. It's a good map. I'm not gonna lie. It's just one of those things where if you want to try it out, go for it. If you don't want to try it out, well, that's fine with me. You know, it's not one of those maps where you want to constantly play it, and it's probably a good choice to stay away from it in that case. If you happen to be a fan of it like Dread is, because I know he has more hours than I've ever put in it and stuff like that, he's going to probably want to play this map more often. But if you're like me or Keo, we don't want to play maps like this all the time. We want to play a full map where we can actually kind of have some strategy into it. This one didn't necessarily have any strategy to it. So, anyways, that's our score. That's our review of it. If you guys want to add anything to it?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Dread?
I don't know. If the person just something that the person could have done. Yeah, I don't know. Forget it.
Okay.
Probably past that.
Alright. So, stay tuned. We'll do more reviews and playthroughs of maps again sooner or later, you know. Anyways, we're out. Bye-bye.